Well, it's do or die. It's going to be G2 Gozen starting things off on defense while Falcons Vega on the attack. As we instantly see sort of a crunch onto this A side. Double-sided approach. Aim main already infiltrated. There may be trouble as rezq tries to fend off the attackers, but as she's taken down, it's Petra with a double. So G2 Gozen sticking on top. Ludge. That's an upper angle. Could be really strong if he catches them off guard, and she does so. That's Ludge swinging it all back in favor of the Falcons. And G2 might be in little trouble here as they've got to come back. EMEA, good on the trigger. And that leaves equilibrium across the board. A 2 versus 2 with everyone sight and Ludge on the flank, but once caught, so G2...
Especially across the whole map pool, it's a lot of time invested trying to get it prepared on all of those maps. It's a nice little elbow walk from rezq, looking for the lurk of Sandra early on.
So far forwards, but it seems like Falcons are expecting something like that, quite passive on their approach, but instead madv is the first to job, so she's going to have to be calling from the grave as G2 have got the advantage here, and with that pick, they can just drop back and play it safe.
Yeah, the bonus win would be massive for them, but you look at this Toki, she feels like she's got good space out A main here, able to find the timing, taking out the cam there. Vania only alone on the site with a ghost here, supported by Amy from bridge.
So far, dry peeking from Toki, but this toxic screen allows further movement. One to the right-hand side has to be the attention for Toki here. Spots a pixel. The spray is timely, eventually taking one down, and that's G2 on equal footing. But Sandra, this is an interesting lurk in the making. Could definitely catch them off guard. Mimi reads it, but it's not quick enough to the trigger, so it's still a difficult affair. Amy, you've got to pick up the pieces here, but the lurk is still there. You've got to be careful of your back line as Sandra could come into the fight at any second at this point. Amy though, closing up, has to get traded out. Sandra still being a menace in the back line, hasn't been taken down just yet. As a fight still commences onto the site, they just have to isolate the kills before the rotations have to come through. Ludge does get one. The operator so damaging. One of the youngest players in the tournament as well at 17 is quite a dangerous prospect. A prodigy in the making, perhaps. For now, it's an aggressive stance from Falcons. Again, the tag exactly where G2 would have wanted it, and it's an easy pickup, looking exactly like the second round thus far. And with Petra getting a kill through the smoke for yet another time, it seems like history is repeating itself. Petra finding even more damage, and Falcons, even though they get themselves a win a round before, it's all crumbled to pieces. An instant later, with Sandra looking to pick up all these pieces herself, up against the 5 of G2, who, by the way, haven't taken a hint of damage this round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the outlaw buy, to be honest. 3 players with light armor here, but Sandra really unable to find too much impact. It's kind of been solo on the other side of the map. See if she's able to find any damage. It's the contact setup swinging off of Vania. And rezq unchecked. Both players a little bit of an awkward exchange with the scopes out. Cage creates some space.
That is very true. And rezq, lovely shot onto Toki. Already giving them the advantage, and info gathered on the second swing. Viper's orb does come up though, so forced to draw back. As Ludge herself starts to move even closer, but with the repositioning, it's grand for a pick. Nicely done there by rezq. And G2, just like that, are comfortable. Falcons barely were able to move an inch in this round, and it seems like it might already be over. It's 1 minute on the clock, and they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, pop flash set up by madv there. Pushes the op off the line. rezq, dash activated, keen for a repeat. You've got the close position of the KO and the Cypher. Big crossfire to be running into for Falcons here.
And again, information gathered. So the rest of you two start to line up on this A site. Nobody holding out on B, knowing fully what the plan of Falcons is this one. And rezq manages to find impact again. 2 more, and it's the ace. Reload and 5 bullets to the chamber.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness! It's hard. G2, this new restructuring, the new playstyle that they're bringing out seems to be working out for them. But for this round, that's a pick for Toki. That's exactly what Falcons needed. But can they close this out?
That's actually huge. They pick the Cypher, so no more trips. They're immediately going to reroute back towards B. Vania trying to buy time for the rotations to come in. Orbs up, snakebite drop behind it. But Falcons, they can definitely get into this B site. Walls invested, they got a trip on the flank, and they can potentially get this pit down here if they can clear out Vania.
I mean, Vania is alone, but it's a very dangerous Vania at that. Go into your sight and you're damn. No, she might come out with a kill. That's exactly what happens! 90-degree turn, and that's Toki dead. G2, they could deliver with defending the site, and Rescue is right on the flank, and Falcons have got no idea. Oh, it's looking bleak, though. Those shots did not connect, and Vanya's still being a menace, though. That's exactly what G2 need. Just keep them busy while the rest of the G2 start to follow up. That's exactly what they do. Rescue finds an opening as madv was out into the open, and Vanya keeps on giving. This is incredible. Falcons thought they had a chance with the blades at the start, but they're quickly running out of time. 10 seconds. Vanya was a first player contestant, and she's only now fallen. 4 seconds.
After seeing the pit go down in A main there.
Just a starstruck through this round, but you've got to cooperate. Got to get back into the zone, and Mimi is the one on the hot seat. Petra, crossfire, Viper's pit in main. Oh, this A site is looking difficult to enter, and Rescue on the flank is not going to let them pass. Petra also, all of the Gozen roster, that's what makes them so scary. But the null command indicates the attempt. Rescue in the middle, Mimi there to assist. The flash is supreme. Or if it was a team flash, maybe not so much. Still, keeping things even for G2 here as madv will be brought back into life. Rescue debating another shot and another attempt in, but awaits for the teammates. The smarter call. Patience doesn't pay dividends as Falcons start to rain upon G2. All of the bodies drop and it's down to Vanya. Oh, the star piece of G2, the new star piece at that. But with 10 seconds, it's Sandra on the hot seat. Sandra needs to go in for the spike plant or for the attempt on the kill, but Vanya's just going to go all the way around and play the clock. Especially leaving it to 45 seconds. Toki has had bad luck in the entry so far, never really finding space to get a kill in the entry, and it seems her fate will be sealed again in a similar fashion. It seems that there's always nooks and crannies that G2 goes and can look upon, but still Falcons remain alive, afloat perhaps. A flank from Vanya could be influential, but G2 have to wait on that one, and it could be notified by a Cypher trap.
Okay, well popped. Trying to kick off this retake here and clear out the pit if they can here. Starting to creep around the pit and contest this post plant.
Yeah, it's difficult to have protocols for this type of situation. There's so many different positions that could be taken up, especially in the Viper's pit, but so far so good for Mimi as they... Again, leaving the clock down to 45 seconds before the approach starts to happen, as G2 goes and can definitely hear the alarms ringing from the door opening. Mimi on side, having to look away from the flash, but Vanya's got her teammates back. God, that was quick. The Outlaw only has 2 bullets to the chamber, and 2 kills were collected off the back of it. That's why you need to buy full armor, guys. Just things to learn off of this final. Falcons just trailing behind, but that was a crucial pick here from Sandra. Maybe they have a flank in the making, but the fact that Luj is the only person to assist with a push from main with 13 seconds to spare, it does not look pretty. That shot did, but it's not enough.
There is performance so far in the playoffs has been pretty insane.
On Toki to lead the charge, it looks like Falcon wants to switch up the pace a little bit here, but it seems Toki is not having the support she needs. The utility from Gozen was perfect, cutting off the rest of the teammates of Falcons to move in, making it nigh impossible. But they do find a different way of entry. They've got the A main site. The spike can go down, and a 4v5 not impossible, but they want to take the backside as well. Petra using the stairs like a master, picking off another and doing damage to another 2. Falcons, yes, on a lower buy, but this is a last round and a half, and there is no other resource. madv leading from the front in kills, but she's got to find 2 more. Look at this. Teams that ever wanted to take a chance, but Toki's the one that might do it all with the flank. Oh no! Oh, the shots aren't connecting, but at least she's good for 1. But her teammate drops. Ever now in trouble, spotting a weapon but not pulling the trigger in time. Surprised at that, but Falcons keeping it in contention. Sandra opening up the line, hand in hand with her teammates. Toki picking alone, and alone won't do it. Disjointed, they shall fall, and G2 goes in a clear advantage. A 3v1 where madv is asked to do the impossible, I think, but she would have wished she could have gotten the kill on that. It would have made this so much more easier. but there's way too many angles.
G2 on the halls harassment. Oh, that's not how you wanted to start for Falcons. I feel like they haven't had a single first blood this entire game.
Yeah, I hope the analyst desk reads up on the stats of that, because it'll be an interesting one. Definitely missing out on the early trades.
Marshals, that outlaw, definitely dangerous against this buy here in round number 15. Nice scan onto A main. You're going to at least see the jet. Not sure if it got the KO as well. It did, so that's something you can definitely read into. These are not the agents you're usually leaving on the lurk here, and out comes the wall towards this A site.
Cross does come through.
Enemy remaining.
Oh,
30
and it seems like G2 goes and want to fight this, but Lurger's got it all covered. Amy turning it around though, drawing it back to 1v1, a Cypher 1v1 at that. But I don't think Amy's got any idea. Sandra's being loud about it, but I think she's just out of range. How'd it all crumble in a matter of seconds?
Planted the spike.
An equal chance beside. Spike planted. Sandra knows, but Amy's the one. Sight. Toki taking the fight straight out of the bat as Falcons to get the upper hand on the initial trade, something differed a lot on the previous map. Mimi, as paint shells thrown at her, but she takes the aggressive stance and ends up getting traded. Petra keeping things equal, really important as Falcons look to traverse into this B site, but already with two defenders here, and Vania not really showing her ground. This is going to be difficult for Falcons to even try and get that spike down. Vania moving in, and Vania will rip Bludger's head off her body.
From the fade, from the raise, as well as the breach. You can see Falcons just completely been able to call the audible here. Cypher was in sewers, so it's a little risky to run back to the site and actually re-clear all of this space, but Falcons feeling like they've done enough, denying that info line to Petra over on B main to rotate back towards the A side of the map, so they're going to run into this site for free.
Left.
Get that plant down nice and open for A main. Still plenty of util to be able to make this retake very difficult, and they've got that A ramp control, so really strong looking post plant for Falcons here. G2 just looking for damage in this retake.
Yeah, clean pickup here for Falcons, who convinced us of shake off of the nerves. Petra's Prowler spotting presence, but nothing other than that. That's a strong fault line, catching off a couple of players. madv's got her teammates covered. Amy, good for at least one. But
Q dropped off on the info line. She'll look for a single pick, but no satchels to get out here. The cage actually would have given her the opportunity to cross, but she's going to stick around. Falcons clean side XE. Rescue just catching Eva, just getting the orb. That's the Seekers denied there early on.
Rescue playing the patience game, and it pays dividends as G2 now playing with the numbers advantage. But look at Falcons, they're pushing up all the way into screens, all the way behind enemy lines. But it's a matter of G2 Gozen are smart enough to look in this direction. They themselves have gone the long way around. Into A main they go. But it's Vania on the lookout on the flank, and she hasn't expected Toki to be nestled into the right-hand side corner, allowing Falcons to be very dangerous from the skies, having numbers advantage. Well, maybe in health. It's Petra that closes it back in favor of G2 Gozen, and it's all down to Toki. She's got the spike planted for her, but three players looking in a direction, and this is nigh impossible unless she can whack all the molds down.
Themselves 3-on-1 there in the after plan, straight up mid. Toki down the same as Breeze here, Pavlos.
It's crazy that Toki just can't get a break. Can't quite get herself together to close out some impactful kills. And it's costly. She might be getting into her own head. And that's where champions get defined, being able to snap out of it. So she's called to action, really. She's got a moment from the grave to try and recompose while the rest of her team tries to draw it all back. Difficult task given how Petra has been hitting shots today.
Oh, absolutely. Especially because I feel like she hasn't really been the standout for G2, but obviously a player with a lot of experience. Rescue, that's just filthy from rope side. Judge gets upgraded to a Vandal immediately, and now a 2-on-5 for Falcons to negotiate.
One enemy remaining.
It's Petra's repositioning and knowing exactly where madv is coming from. Yes, she'll be dropping her life, but it's her team lined up for success here. A 1 versus 4, where madv, the IGL, the captain, in the hot seat.
10 seconds left.
Planted.
Stun and paint shells in a direction. Only taking damage by the snakebite, but there's paranoia to catch her. in the dark, they can definitely know that she's in this elbow position. Two line up for him. Already we're seeing a showstopper being dropped off straight away, and it's rezq. Straight up the pace. Point blank shot misses. Eva finds a shot instead. Vania can't trade it. It's topsy-turvy for G2 Gozen. Falcons, this could be their round that they can get back into this game with.
Yeah, they're finally playing with player advantages. Everything working for them this round. Paint Shell's going to flush out Amy. Eva trades the second multi-frag in as many rounds. And as I mentioned, I mean, she's just stepping up for Falcons on this attacking side, just like one of their previous games I watched on Split. Falcons, if they complete this 4-on-2, they can break the money. Cage should just break that line from the breach over on male side. Falcons taking their time to make their way through ropes here. And they're going to be able to get into this A site for free.
I felt that there was a world where Mimi would have gotten a couple of kills through the smoke there for a sec.
One enemy remaining.
A very smart decision, because
She
Mimi...
is fragging up a storm right now, and from screen side.
Cam and Cage spotted. There's a Petra call for reinforcements, caught out into the open, and that's Falcon's pick and the A-site hit.
G2 still with the Rolling Thunder, but do you invest that with a player disadvantage here? It seems like they're going to.
That's exactly what they're doing. Mimi chose out the Rolling Thunder, and rezq looks to bounce back off the back of it. Pushing forwards, that's a double. One into the corner, they know exactly where Toki is, and she's a dead woman walking. rezq wants to keep it going to grab a quadra, but it's Vania to pick it up. It's always that old balancing game as well that you've got to be playing. There's no way you just hit that.
Someone needs to check her PC, like 100%. This is just way
This is
too
not
insane.
normally.
15. This is not normally. You're right, Pavlos. You know your memes well. Toki does not have a gun in this round. Did she forget to buy? I think she did, and now she's been able to pick one up thanks to Eva one-tapping someone in ropes through the smoke. That is very fortunate. Not everyone is ready at the end of the tech pause. Look at this. No armor, no util bought for Toki. She just legit forgot to buy in the tech pause. And yeah, I mean...
It happened. It happened to Bosa. It happened to Navera. It can happen to anyone. It's Toki's turn. And the Game Changers EMEA Grand Final. Petra pick onto Toki. So that picked up weapon is for naught.
30 seconds left.
And the Nightfall already expended in mid means that she has to do it with her guns. Lovely pick from madv leading the charge. Presence on the back line here from Vania could be menacing. Trailblazer clearing it out. Showing Vanya's presence. Paranoia. A little bit too far forward. And it's time for the rest of G2 Goes and start moving in as well. It's rezq and Mimi on one end. Vania on the other. Aftershock delaying one of the ends, but madv is clean with it. And rezq, there's that A-site, start to alarm. Mimi walks forwards, one drops back. The buggy is used well enough to get a double kill. And she's still alive, hasn't taken any damage. The Aftershock will force out the TP, but rezq's there to help out. Oh dear, double TP needed. With a Vandal on the ground that Vania will definitely have her eyes on, but is happy to close up the distance and have the Bucky instead.
Oh, this is where I get nervous for the indecisiveness of Falcons. They've only got mid control in a 3-on-4 here. Flank coming in from Mimi any second now. They're completely sandwiched on all angles.
30 seconds left.
One a bit late to this. Never mind, she is right on time. A double kill. So they've got somewhat of a good understanding that it's not going to be an instant B hit, so they can spend a couple of extra players towards A. And Mimi's gotten a pick off the back of it.
Very difficult to break in here. See all the disruptive utility, big rotation, as he mentioned, straight over onto this site. And Falcons are just going to try to run through a brick wall here, Pavlos.
Eva looking to lead the charge here, unable to find pot shots against the low players of G2. It's Lush finally to find openings up against the smokes as well. They've done good work to clear out this A side, but there's only one left, and I don't think they've read where Amy is. From the shadows, it's crucial. This shows exactly where Amy lies. And with a flash, Eva goes for the swing and wins off the site tick. Vania is still a menace though. 6 bullets to her name, but she's got 3 more players to deal with. One down, 2 to go. 4 bullets in the chamber. And has to rotate around. Neural Theft going to reveal her position, so it's got to be really clean with her attempt.
One enemy remaining.
Up. Second tag. Has to run. She's good with it. Only a 1v1, and it's Ludge, the player that is low, covering one of the angles with the dark cover, having a drop back, but Ludge isn't dropping back either. Wants to aggress in, but doesn't take the chance, hiding within the smoke until it dissipates, and Vanya's found access towards the site. Oh dear, this is stressful. Fine with it, doesn't care. Leashes don't bother her. She's set free on those clutches to do as she wants. And it's Jed 2 now on the attack. Pistol round for them. Amy left for the flank. Ludge spots her. But still it's a B-site take, which Falcons need to decide now. Do they 10 players? They throw 3 players to cover off Amy here. So that's going to buy some time for G2 Goes to reposition. That's exactly what rezq does. Trailblazer shows their presence. And they drop back. That's a good stun. 2 players concussed. Paranoia as well to follow suit, but they need the Pixie and they need them now. rezq, good for 1, but it's Toki with a double to put Falcons on top here. Petra, side angle, 2 players low. And with Pain Shills going in their direction, they need to start closing out the kills now. Mimi gets 1 before she drops, but it's all down to 8. And all here for G2 Goes, a great pickup. Probably the best in Game Changers has ever seen. For now, it's Heaven take. It's Ludge pressuring it, smoking herself off. G2 Goes and don't want to go in for another bite. Instead, they spread out their wings all across the map, trying to see if they can find an opening, but they don't have much time. It's 40 seconds. This looks like an A hit incoming. With 2 defenders, Falcons have got 2 players with rifles with them as well, so probably one of the best case scenarios for them to defend this. How clean can this be from G2 Goes? And they've got to make sure it is. Toki, not yet spotted, ever. Oh dear, the flash is strong. And G2 Goes in collapsing under pressure here. Vanya aggressing ever forwards. Toki not quite able to finish the deal up against Vanya. But she's low, so Sandra could potentially do damage with the Ghost, especially if she can find herself a gun to work with, and that's exactly where she's going. A couple of vandals in front of her.
Ropes. And once again, rezq and Vanya have been able to use these prompts to push our advantage for Falcons.
Brilliant response from Falcons, seeing that G2 Goes and players are isolated and they take full advantage of it, but it looks like they want to go in for another bite, but Ludge this time is outnumbered, but eventually has friends nearby. Showstopper out, has to lose her life for it, so it's still a 3v3, and the B-site not quite taken over. Crucially enough, Vanya might be troubled from the heavens. She does cross under to try and isolate Sandra here, and that's exactly what happens. They still got a long way to go. 2 Falcons players split up. Ever from the sidelines, madv from above.
Blinding.
1 ping down.
Player standing.
Flash coming through, but it's Vanya to get a quick pick onto Ever, so madv has to do it by herself. With 1 beneath her, she...
Straight up mid yet again here for G2, completely uncontested. rezq has been in ropes and mail like 5 seconds into the round, both rounds.
rezq against the smoke, actually pushed out of it. Quick enough to pick up Sandra. Ludge is there for the trade, but Petra follows suit as well. So B-site moving in. G2 Goes in his favor. And again, Falcons find themselves on a retake point with less players alive. They've never been really comfortable for this one. And Mimi even has a Rolling Thunder as a guarantee. It's looking tougher and tougher. Amy, she's stunned, spotted by Toki. Evening the playing field. Rolling Thunder, Toki stunned up, but has got cover. It's enough to buy time for them. Vanya tries to go all the way around. But it's Ever and madv to bring things back to a double standpoint. As we're in.
Face your fear!
Really nice placement from rezq there. Right into the top of the site. But madv somehow is able to find a pick through the smoke. And now with a Rolling Thunder, could do quite a bit from that position. She just needs to stay alive until the rest of the team comes in as well. But it doesn't seem like they're budging yet. They're waiting for the spike to go down. Smart enough of a decision.
I love this from G2. They're just cutting sound, letting Falcons overplay their hand. There's a lot of pressure on Falcons being up against map 2 point. They're over-rotating, and G2's taking full advantage. This is the sign of an experienced team understanding how to navigate these mid-rounds, knowing that they could just apply pressure by cutting sound and pull rotations away from the site that's been so active since the start of the round. It's a free open plant for Vanya inside of the dark cover, and a very low percentage retake for Falcons.
Falcons now need to spend some time to traverse back towards this A site. Trailblazer spotting out one of the players, but how many truly are in that position? Toki taking Mimi down. They know there's at least one more player there now. Rolling Thunder does take place on site, and it's Toki to flawlessly take on that A main side approach. rezq though is the next one in contention, and Vania comes out from the shadows.
Absolutely every round of taking full advantage. rezq once again straight up into Mayo, 130 into the round, and the showstopper gets ripped immediately.
A complete change of pace, but she hasn't looked below. Showstopper does collect one, but is it good enough? Lunge's position. I'm not quite sure how telegraphed it is, which allows Toki to get a double as well. Falcons, they're getting a quick win out of this one. G2's fast pace, not paying dividends, walking right into the lines then. And Amy now trying to play catch up. Mimi as well, but both revealed positions. Swing, and not a miss. Amy. Players looking at her. Oh, but she's so clean! And might even have a chance against Toki. No, not this time. Spike dropped again. And it's Mimi's turn. Amy did get a double. And if Mimi can match that, this could be the end of map number 2. Spike for retrieval for Mimi, and it's handed over with 40 seconds to spare. This map is her oyster.
A lot of breach util up for madv. Same can be said for Mimi.
Left.
Falcons just playing together, staying active, trying to play the buddy system to clear things off. I don't know if they've heard the reroute through Ved's side.
So.
It seems like they're on top of the rotation.
Yeah, I think they were barely in a position where they could hear it.
Spike planted.
So it's Mimi now, 1v2. Stun up. Stun. And retention. Aftershock to both sides, both breaches trying to do the same exact thing. But Mimi, can she do it by herself?
Again, space taken in mid by G2. Straight up into Mail is rezq yet again. Reactive paranoia. Ever going to peek off the back of that and find the player advantage. That's a big pick for Falcons.
That is mad. Because rezq was not paranoid in that situation. The rest of her team was. But she had all her senses intact and still gets dismantled by Eva. Still, one left onto the A site, and that's Sandra.
Cage triggered.
Aftershock, well placed. We'll have to fall. Also, never mind. It doesn't affect her at all. That's a pick onto Vania. And finally, Sandra drops, and the A site given over to G2, but they're climbing upwards here. It's a 1v, well, it's a 3v4.
Don't get in my way.
Get invested by Amy, but she's 5 HP. Very spammable here, Pavlos.
It is indeed. Petra, good shot. Knows exactly where Toki is, but with a Viper spin, she herself can't see where your position is. madv into the fight, which allows Mimi to be all by herself. Spike on this left-hand side. And there's a lot of info gathering on that A site. Oh, Toki with a showstopper straight out of the bat. Misses the mark, though. An opportunity to get the numbers advantage early on in this round. Miss. Seeker's thrown out as well. It feels like we're seeing a couple of panic ults coming out from Falcons. They've got none of the other ultimates left in their chamber right now for the remainder of this round.
Yeah, G2 just baited that trap so perfectly. They've dealt with the cam over on Heaven's side. A lot of pressure now for Falcons, who have no control of this A site. They're just playing full retake. They're worried about that.
Stop them from moving in. And the Rolling Thunder kept.
There.
And this is a 5 versus 5 retake. This could get rough, this could get messy. Toki stand up early, has to move into elbow. Vania, not yet challenged, but it's madv with first blood. Mimi and Vania doing God's work to the back of this site. And all of a sudden, Toki is very low, concussed up as well. Mimi wants to do it all by himself. As a captain, leading from in front this round. And Lush, all that remains. What a valiant effort it has been. What an amazing comeback. To put us in the hope that Falcons can do it. Counting extremities at the extremities of every fight. I can't have 2 players at the back. Right there. And it's the wingman to place that spike down. And it's rezq with the first kill. 2 players into elbow already. G2 Gozen seems to be covering that angle for now. And it's Amy to shut down both of these players herself. G2 Gozen bringing in momentum from the previous map. And it looks like they'll be closing out this one flawlessly with only 1 player remaining in their attempt to get a kill here.
rezq. Or actually, it's going to go over to Petra, and that's the Empress online.
4 players at the back of this A site. Gozen for the hard take here from G2 Gozen. Toki's able to find the right Yoru clone. And at the same time, Falcons are finding a lot of success with the Vandals to the back of the site. G2 goes and though, turn it all back around. Amy's strong in that Sheriff. And Amy's got the back line covered. So G2 goes in a matter of seconds, are now on top with Eva trying to do it alone. And the guiding light won't be finding anything. And the spike is in the middle of the open. So she can only hope that someone is going to be checking on Shower. But as soon as they hear movement, you can see the fast reversal to the back of the site. Thrasher out early. Mimi finds nothing, but draws the Thrasher right back to the center of the site. Rescue now will be the first play in contention. And they're waiting to throw in a flash to follow up with an attack. Splitting the site in 4 pieces. G2 are able to dance around it with perfection. Although Wingman is out and the spike hasn't been planted yet, Petra drops, so it gives Falcons some hope. There is a wraparound in the making. It seems that there's Vania looking in that direction, which is good enough to shut her down. And now, Falcons force them out of the B site. G2 goes in, take no other excuses to stick around and move over as fast as possible.
He had the rotation through market side from Vania, so the TP would have been pretty suicidal for Falcons. They're going to try to complete this retake with the Cascades and the Satchel out if possible. No more smokes left over on the brim here.
Smoked off for now. A 3-on-3 that Falcons desperately need. Losing this one, being 5-0. Can't be easy on your psyche at all. You're already 2 maps down. Vania close to the action. That's the first pick. Turns around for the second! God, she's a queen. And talk about proactivity. madv wants to replicate that, but on the other side of a map. Never spotted, but at the same time, she's figured out what G2 Gozen's moving for. They haven't cleared out showers just yet, so Rescue's on that duty, but madv is the linchpin here. She does. Will be the most crucial aspect of Falcons round here. Yet to be spotted. Vania turns around, but madv can't find the shot in time. And it's weapon superiority to take it. And now equilibrium. 4 versus 4. Mimi close to the action. But Falcons not comfortable to take the fight. Viper spit out, and Mimi's there to cover the angle. And all of a sudden, Falcons trailing far behind. Only 2 players remaining. And with G2 closing up the distance with shorties in hands, it can't be too comfortable at all. But they've got to take a chance here. The next round is where they buy. This one is one that was for the history books already. But it's damage they're looking for. And I'm not quite sure how much damage G2 Gozen is willing to give them.
Last player remaining.
Bot shots through.
Pressing up short A here. G2 preparing themselves for this A execute, and Mimi's got the kill with the mosh pit over the top. Beautiful stuff.
Toki is in trouble here. Paint chills not quite thrown out in time. And yeah, it's all crumbling here for Falcons. There's not much you can say about it because G2 have been winning trade after trade. Yes, Falcons did switch it up, but it was a bit disjointed. 2 players, 2 different locations, both of them not quite able to trade their lives. And it's a story as simple as that to put G2 in front. madv trying to change the fate of this round herself. Petra in the fight, but it's madv to collect it. Amy, with the information given, will step out of the shadows, get one herself, but back into safety. And Rescue's there for a guarantee. This is difficult. They both hide within the smoke itself. Broken quickly and off the spike. madv doubles up, and maybe there's a chance. Captain begins.
You know, sound being cut by Falcons that they can get into this B site for free.
Amy is looking. The thing is, also, at the same time, the 2 players are back. There's players coming in at them from all sorts of directions. And Amy can only live for so long. At least it's bought enough time for G2 Gozen to move into this B site. But it's still a 3v4.
Thrash and Reckoning going to be difficult to complete a retake against those ults, and Petra with the Empress active going to take this full towards spawn side, evening up the numbers.
Petra still has the confidence to take duels like that. Falcons moving in together as a unit. The players strong. Petra still fragging strong. Wingman in support. And it's
Just shuts her down.
Oh. That's a very aggressive Thrasher from Toki, but it actually pays dividends. Falcons decide that the way to go is with full pedal to the metal. And as G2 wrap into showers, Toki might be going all the way around to greet them. Amy's got the angle covered. flash.
Make
Into
something
who's
happen.
next?
Push on the map. Be proactive and assertive, which is exactly what rezq's doing with this Yoro ultimate, clearing out all of this A site and creating space for G2 to be able to flood up on into it. There's the high tide and the wingman plant.
I think only one player was spotted throughout it, but with the element of elimination, they can sort of figure out where the rest are.
30 seconds
Sandra
left.
causing a lot of noise here. A lot of G2 players looking in this direction, and it buys time for madv to come in as well to do some damage of her own, and the spike hasn't quite gone down yet. We're at 20 seconds. G2 need to be very careful with this. madv in the mosh pit couldn't get away, and it's Ever alone. Spike picked up.
10 seconds
Not
left.
quite a safe position from Ever here.
planted.
Oh, actually it is, never mind. So no interruption available. And with the rezq going all the way behind Ever here.
Sandra spotting the short creep there.
And then they go, and Sandra is the first to notice contact. Actually moves up very close to this fight. Might be tempted to move out from that smoke. Pressure into showers, but both of the players taking the fights from Falcons have lost their lives.
Back to me.
And G2 seem very comfortable entering the second part of this round. On the post plant, Toki's going to do so much. That's one pick, one piece of the puzzle. And with Rez having all the information available to her, will get a couple of kills herself. Ever alone, come back on the second map split, but they didn't quite close it out as they would have liked. First things first is this pistol round, and G2 know exactly what is going on. They've dropped back completely. Petra not wanting to trade a life. Amy gets one and gets out of there scot-free. Only get half points of health for her now as we enter the post plant. It hasn't even been planted just yet. Falcons eager to take lamp control because they didn't quite have it, which allows Petra to get a nice little kill onto Sandra. Oh dear, might be overcooking a little bit here, Falcons, as the stress is getting to them. madv to the back of it. But the wall is good to keep G2 safe. And once it drops, they'll be able to use this dizzy to move out of it as well. Mimi, one. Vania as well. And Falcons are trailing behind, one player against three.
Just for the most part. Was doing pretty fantastically against Giant X, the way that she was working bathrooms control. The old school way. I've absolutely cast a curse to her there though, and now over onto this big long line. It's an instant burst from Vania.
Falcons are in big trouble. They've moved in and Vanya's dancing around them. Cannot do a thing really. They're being pounced upon, and Falcons in desperate need of rounds. With their mental in the gutter. Yeah, I kind of saw Ever look at Toki there. Being, what now? What do we do? And honestly, I don't think many people have an answer to that question. They do at least have a spike under their control. Toki doubles up though and says this is exactly what we're going to do. Mimi draws it right back up to a 1 versus 2. Ever's got so much to do here, but she has to isolate Mimi before Amy comes into contention. Mimi is low, Bulldog chase right after her. Spots out where Amy is, and now she has to deal with 2 players. 2 seconds, she needs the kill because she... It's not going to be that easy. The idea of what both of these teams are fighting for, and so far nobody's going to be getting that orb anytime soon. It's just the kill trait to come out. Falcons sees shower control, repositioning from G2. And you can see a quick wraparound coming in from Vania, but would it be quick enough? Part of the result, used onto the side. Amy, a good shot side angle that could catch them up on their cross, and that's exactly what happens. Sandra is down, so is Luj. And in a matter of seconds, Falcons' firepower has been halved in 2. And yeah, with 1 minute to spare, it's hard to imagine what Falcons can do to get themselves back into this one.
Mimi's deep on this market line. It's going to take a kill from Eva and probably an Insta-Seekers to read the rotation if they're going to have a chance in this round.
Right there.
1 enemy remaining.
Nearly aligned. Not
I've got your trail.
Push comes in. Toki looking to lead the charge. This is a final desperate attempt here from Falcons to remain into the game. They were able to square a lot of rounds by the end of the last one to not lose miserably, but can they do it again to at least give them a chance for an overtime play?
Spike planted.
rezq will be alone in this one, and Falcons will be happy to take this fight, but Ever doesn't check the corner. That is crucial. Flash blinding a couple of players, but Sandra's still able to pick up the kill. How will this work out? Thrasher enabled by G2. Lush hiding out. But it's Amy with a triple. G2, they're so close to it, they can smell it. A Toki 1 versus 3. That seems so freaking difficult right now. They know exactly where she hides. They know exactly where she is. She only has time in her favor, but nothing else. G2 Gozen are now your 6-time EMEA Game Changer champs and flawlessly take back what's righteously theirs.
It's the start of a new G2 dynasty. I'm feeling like the massive pickups of the star players of all of their rivals last year. Amy comes in from Gozen Vania in from BBL. And G2 looking scary as all hell for the rest of the Game Changers scene. You can see how much it means to them, despite the fact that, you know, a couple of them have already won a couple of titles. Vania, obviously, the only remaining reigning champ now that Eva goes down in that grand final.